Now welcome back, karibu tena mtazamaji na karibu kwenye kipindi ukipendacho cha Juzi ya Kuogofia. Kipindi cha Juzi ya Kuogofia, kama nilivyokuwa nimekuambia ama kama mimi huambia kila wakati, ni kipindi ambacho kinaangazia maisha ya mtu. Kuna wale watu ambao wamepitia, na wakati mwingi mimi hujua Mungu hukupitishia mambo mengine na ili uweze kukua wa usaidizi kwa watu wengine. So kuna watu ambao wamepitishio Juzi ya Kuogofia, lakini jana yao na leo ni ya kuvutia. And that's why to introduce this program, because tuko na watu wengi. I'm telling you, list inakuwaga mrefu hivi. Kila mtu anataka kushare the story, na hiyo ndio inanionyesha ya kwamba it is true. God anataka kupitishia some of us ili tuweze kukua inspiration to other people. So welcome kwenye kipindi cha Juzi ya Kuogofia, na nikukumbusha kwamba unaweza wasiliana na sisi. You can write something. Ukisikia story imekutouch, you can write a comment kwa namba ambayo iko kwa screen yako 0799 200 100. Today I have an amazing guest, amazing woman of God mwenye yako hapa. Hata mimi sitaki kusikia, cause imagine this person amekuwa friend yangu, tumekuwa mabeshte, tumekuwa tunakutana, but I didn't know that akona story funny. So one day aliwatch kwa Mizpah akasema mimi niko na story, and that's when nikamwambia this story. When nikamuuliza, are you sure you have a Juzi ya Kuogofia? She told me yes. So I don't know the story. I want to hear. I want to listen to her this morning. Ndio nijue. Good morning.
Good morning.
You are good?
Very good.
So before to answer the story,
yes,
just look at your camera, salimia
yes,
mtazamaji, and then tell us wewe ni nani.
Good morning, viewers. My name is Sarah Cheptepken Gikere. Gikere is my husband, and I'm very glad and honored to be here. Thank you, Jose, for the invite.
Now, kabla tuendelee sana, what do you do?
I am a project manager with an organization called Rising Daisies, and but most of my time I'm a homemaker. I call myself a professional homemaker. Niko nyumbani na watoto, raising, the next godly generation. Yes.
Now, because hiyo imekaa tofauti sana, and I think our wives should adapt this, wale wenye wanakaa nyumbani. Professional homemaker, hii inamaanisha nini before tuende kwa story?
Professional homemaker, for me, it was a revelation God gave me recently, not too long ago, that this is an assignment. My children are an assignment from God, that I have to, as a steward, I can't just leave them to the house helps, to the teachers. It's my duty every day to raise these children and form them after the character of God. Not that I'm perfect myself, you can't just come up and say nimeweza, no. But every day as He continues to mold me, I have to model Christ for them.
So they don't go to school?
No. Okay, first, my babies are not so old. My firstborn is 5 years. And so, no, she doesn't go to school. She's homeschooled. And I plan on homeschooling all of them. It was an agreement between me, my husband, and God. And yes, that is the plan, to be able to homeschool them.
Okay. I think in after some few years I still have a guest wakuja kutuambia progress the children,
yes,
vile wanaendelea. You will not employ a teacher, you will do it on your own.
Yes.
So unajifunza hata mambo ya shule, you study a lot kujua vile utaraise watoto CBC.
Yes. Yes. In fact, there's trainings in Kenya. You would think most people don't know much about homeschooling, but there are trainings. There are people who have been trained how to teach these parents on curriculums, how to do it with them, how to get down in the mud with them, spend time. How long do you do it for? Which class are they in now? How do they progress? There are exams, all those things. There are trainings for parents.
Have you
available.
gone through them?
Yes, and we continue. As you progress, more training, more training.
Now, this is more than commitment, because unajua kuna commitment zingine unaweza sikia unaambia tu Mungu asanti ukinipe such commitment, because if it's a commitment muli agree na Mungu ufanye, I think hiyo ni task. But tumekuwa tukisema quote of the day ilikuwa ni, if you give the best you will never regret. Now, karibu sana for this program ya Juzi ya Kuogofia. We have hosted many people in this program, and we are privileged to host you today because I know you have a story. Na hiyo story ndio tunataka kusikia. I know you had asked me nitaongea Kiswahili ama nitaongea feel free to use any language. I know my mother is watching, but nikienda nyumbani nitamuelezea kenye inamaanisha if at all you'll use English. Now, tuambie where you started, kwenye ulianza shule, kuje hivyo. You know how to narrate.
Yes. So I'm a daughter of a pastor, and both my parents are pastors. We are 4 of us in our family. I'm the only girl. So growing up, it was just regular, kawaida. We went to school in Egerton, a school called Kilimo. Went through primary vizuri, boarding school, nini. Then came into high school, Moi Girls in Eldoret, our national school. But I got sick, so I had to go to a day school. And that's where the issues started beginning in my life. I think adolescence hit me a bit too hard. And that's where I started, experimenting with alcohol, trying to be a people pleaser, just trying to get all these accolades from human beings. Seeing my father being a pastor, he really loved us and cherished us. But seeing him up there and people would say, wow, great man of God. And I would yearn for that, pia mimi. I would yearn for people to say I've done something good. Because I looked at my life, I was feeling like there's nothing good coming out of me. I would see my brothers celebrated, My mom is a Sunday school teacher and she used to do a great job. So I would see everyone in my family is getting the attention, but I am not, and I'm the only girl. So I felt very weak. I felt like there was something lacking in me. So I decided, one day I remember in Form 2, I told myself, I might not be the smartest in the room. I might not be the most beautiful woman in the room, but I decided I will be it whatever I get into, I will give it my all. And around that time is when I started getting, with friends who would drink. We go out clubbing, unahepa nyumbani, jumping over gates to go out. And that's when I'd say the downward spiral began for me. I would go out and I would not sit down. From the time nitaingia kwa club mpaka the time I leave, never. I wouldn't sit down. And I would drink. I remember one time someone made a comment, wasichana wa kale ni magazla. And I said, Mimi, I'll outdo all of them. Nitakuwa gazla kabisa.
So, tell me, you want to do this so that you may become the best somewhere?
Best somewhere. Doesn't have to be, because I will feel at home, I can't, maybe they have outdone me. My brothers are better than me. So huku kwingine, I must get the praises of people. So if it means dancing the whole night kwa club, I will dance away. Kukunywa zaidi, nitakunywa. For people to say, Sarah ni gazla wa ukweli. To be praised anywhere. I didn't care where the praise was coming from, so as long as it was coming. So then that continued. I get into campus, and at that point, now you're getting to know, people are in relationships here and there. Na pia pale nikasema, nitajitolea. That mimi nothing like a heartbreak. I'll never cry over a man. One after the other, after the other. Tuachane, I don't feel anything. Mimi, see, you want people to say, she's so strong. But strong in the wrong ways. And I was really feeding my flesh. Just me. And there was this void. This gap that I felt every day. Even if I got the accolades of people, there was still an emptiness. Yes, I go out, dance, people cheer you on. Go home. I'm crying. I'm crying myself to sleep. I am in such a bad state. But the next day, wake up, you still have to drink. You feel like your life is nothing without the alcohol. I don't have the courage. I can't stand in front of people.
Hapa uko college bado?
Yes, I went to Daystar University. Yes, kwanza kwa Athi River, where I was so far from my parents. So I could do anything. I could get away with anything. So by this time, I am also I'm working hard in school. I had convinced myself that if I got a degree, that would be good. That would be good for, even my family to say they're proud of me. At least somewhere, nilifanya poa. So at this point, I'm still working hard in school. But there were so many times I'd go to class hungover. I would go, I remember there was an exam I did. I was shaking, literally, because of how bad the hangover was. I was holding the paper. I can't see the words. Just, a mess of a life. And I told myself, here, I have to do it to the best of my ability. And since it's a small community, people talk. hey, you know Sarah Bomet, Sarah who? Hey, huyo, she's the one who, kitaka bashi shike, isikose Sarah. I would be woken up from bed, in my pajamas, nipelekwe bash. Sarah, usijali hata kama una pesa. Mind you, I never spent money on alcohol. I mean, my parents were not, they would give me money just enough for what I needed. Si unajua msichana wa kunywi, so why give her extra? So everyone would buy for me. Why? The guzzler. My friends from South Sudan, all those people would say, without Sarah, bash haezi shika. And so I'd feel a fulfillment ndani yangu. But it would end in hours, a few hours. And that left me feeling a gaping hole. So one time, this is a Christian university. So you have to go for church. There's chapel, there's Bible study.
No, before you go there,
yes.
Nataka kujua ulevi yako ilifika wapi? As in ulikuwa addict, ulifika point of addiction?
For me, I wouldn't say the alcohol in itself was an addiction, but the whole environment was an addiction for me. Every day I would yearn for, look forward to past 6 p.m. Because hapo mtaenda sasa base. You drink, there's dancing, there's music, and then that is where you get Sarah being cheered on. Ni pande juu ya meza, ni pande juu ya speakers, embarrassing things looking back now. But then it was something I lived for. We would hike at a rides hapo Mombasa Road. Doesn't matter, hatuna pesa ya kwenda Nairobi. Tunasimamisha gari all the way to Westlands. Do the same things there. Juu ya meza, juu ya maspika. Usikie DJ amesema, that fed something so deep ndani yangu that Sarah ameweza.
And this is the daughter of a pastor.
Daughter of a pastor. In fact, I remember one time, nikiwa out, someone came and said, aren't you Sarah Bomet? I said, yes. Isn't your father a pastor? I said, hiyo ni yake. Hii ni yangu. So foolishly. But that life had really taken over for me. That was my identity.
Na ilikuwa imejificha ama at one point walikuwa wanajua?
My parents at home. No, in fact, my mother is the one who I opened up to in my 3rd year and said, kuna kitu hamjui kunihusu. But I have never talked to my father about it. I'm sure my mother shared with him, but personally, sikumwambia. My brothers found out about it, especially because, we have the same friends. The word gets around.
Walikuwa nakunywa brothers zako walikuwa ama ni wale wameokoka?
My brothers, actually, I started drinking before all of them. I was the first one kwetu kuanza kukunywa. Some of them came, but they left. Wengine waliniacha hapo kwa hiyo niseme shimo. Yes. So, but for me, it was wake up in the morning, neighbor na kupitishia ka short here and there, go to class. So most of my classes, I was sitting there and I'm high. People would say, Sarah, you're so outgoing. But then najiuliza, outgoing wapi? I was afraid to stand and speak before people. For me, it was the alcohol that gave me a courage. Going to class. In fact, I remember there was one lecturer who told me, Sarah, you're not okay. I can see you. I know what you're doing. But for me, hakuna kitu teacher. I'm okay. I'm very good. This is where I belong. So there is when I had friends. For me, they were friends to me. If you can wake me up to go out, so ni rafiki yangu ya ukweli. So na feel, I'm the person. I'm life of the party. Without me, hakuna bashi daystar. So for me, it was feeding my flesh. Vizuri. But then it was devastating when I'm alone. Nikiwa mbele ya watu, I'm good. When I'm left in my room alone, I'm in pieces. I'm on the floor crying. I'm on my bed weeping, asking myself, Nihi, is this it? When you hear boys saying, men saying, Sarah, ukitaka tu akwe na wewe, mnulie drinks. Whoa, that's it. That's all she needs. Drinks too. That time we were so, in campus, you don't have money. So you're drinking these cheap things. This, in fact, I remember in high school, it was the sachets. Too late to sachet. So, for me, hearing them say, ukimpea drinks at a dance na usiku mzima, that was my identity. That's what people referred to me as. Is that all I am? Is that the best I can be? So for me, it was devastating to hear. That's what people said. But at the same time, it was a pat on the back for me. Yeah, I'm easygoing. I'm not like the other girls. You know, the other ones lazima umpatie. Mimi, drinks, niko poa. Blue moon, bili tatu, I'm good. So, for me, it had become my life. That my identity is tied into this alcohol, this dancing. In fact, I remember one guy told me, we kwani unatumianga diesel? Juu tukiingia na wewe tumeingia na wewe, lakini wewe ukaangi chini. And I would dance the night away. And that was such a thing for me. The younger girls in first year, second year, they started saying, hey, mimi natamani kuwa kama Sarah. Vinyana dance hivyo. I used to tell them, hey, they could dance in rahisi, kuja nikushow. And I misled some. And looking back, I regret. But for me, that was it. That was in fact, I hated going home. Daystar has 3 semesters. The middle one is short. So in between, you only have 2 weeks. Hizo 2 weeks nilikuwa nachukia sana kwenda nyumbani.
Kwa sababu utanyimwa the raha that ukiwa home hautumii anything. Nothing.
Nitumie wapi?
Kwa
mchungaji. Yeah. Unless I remember there were many times I would run away, go to my cousin's house, and with my cousins is where we would go out. Ni pale ndo tuta sneak hapa na pale, umefichia somewhere, and you know them, for them it was wakotao, sisi tunaishi Ngata, tuko ushago. So pale, before you get to my cousins, umepitia umenunua ka 2-3 kwa bag yako, usiku kwa kitanda 2-3, you're good. Ukiambiwa unaambia excuse me auntie, nataka kwenda kununua credit. Si credit. Go to base.
A base.
Ongelesha watu, bambika, come back home.
Wow. So we want to go for a short break. Ndio ukuje uendeleshe your story because it's a nice story. Na ni story yenye hata mimi napigwa na shock because I couldn't see that coming. Sikuwa naona kama ulikuwa hivyo ati you know we know such people. Na hata leo hii wako. There are very many out there. We even know them. Hao wakukanyanga huko juu hivyo, they are there. Now I see what you mean. Anyway, thank you so much. Devi is watching from Nakuru. Asante sana. We want to go for a short break. And tukitoka kwa hiyo break, tutaendelea na story ya Sarah because she have an interesting story. So don't go away. We will be back. Wa Mizpah TV. Hiki ni kipindi cha Juzi ya Kuogofia. Leo niko na mgeni ambaye hadithi ambayo wanatupa ni hadithi ambayo hata sisi kwingine hatuamini. Some of us Sarah hatuamini. So Sarah, tuendelee sasa. Uko pale penye umeingia kabisa, ukuwa home haukunywi, lakini ukirudi shule.
And a bitterness was brewing ndani yangu. I felt like, am I too hard to love? I wanted to be loved in a certain way, to be celebrated, to, be hizo accolades. Nipigiwe makofi niambiwe, well done. And I started saying, kwa vile I'm not getting it at home, I'll get it in the world. And the world is so generous, especially when you do what they want you to do. And I became a professional people pleaser. What you wanted me to do, I would do it. And they would say, wow, Sarah, you're good. So I continued, I acted, I was in drama, and I would give my all there. Ndio nisikia at the end of the play, an applause. Sarah, you're doing well. So everything about me was that. In class, I performed well, so that my lecturers can say, good job. Kwa bar, I performed well. Ndio my fellow barmates, I'm doing well. So it was just an all-round performance for me. Every single day was a performance for me. I got to a point where I started taking it out on myself, where even my image. I cut my hair, like a dye, blue, purple, whatever it takes to get the attention of human beings. And I nikaanza piercings. I pierced my nose 2 times, my ears 4 times, and I was to go to my tongue, whatever it takes, I'm doing it. And the accolades would come. I would receive the claps. Then what? And I would go home and look at my parents, wondering, can't you see? I'm drowning. Can't you see? I want to be loved. And for me, it was a comparison between me and my brothers. I felt like my brothers were being celebrated and I am not. You see, when boys transition to be men, there's a celebration, especially in our community, a big one. And my parents went all out for my brothers. To the point where I was like, can't I be a boy? Is that what it takes for me to be? And I realized I'm starting to adopt this boyish nature. I would wear basketball shorts, a t-shirt, I go to class. What I am, unakuanga boy. Because why? The boys in my family are celebrated. That made me feel like I'm wrong to be a girl. I hated being a girl. I cut my hair. I wanted to just personate a man, because the hapo ndo nitapata. No, nothing. I wouldn't take care of myself. Makeup, never. Dresses, not me. Then I realized that would only lead to a certain lifestyle that I wasn't into. Because at that point, you'd have girls approaching me. And I was like, this is a bit too much, especially for my mother. So I said, no, let me try on this other end. So the dresses became shorter and shorter and shorter. The skirts are getting tighter and tighter. The tops are becoming more revealing, just for attention. And it got to a point where people would say, Sarah, people who would go drinking with, intention yako ni gani? Unataka nini out of this? Tuko walevi wote, but ananiuliza, wewe ukai kuwa hapa. This doesn't seem like you. So then I stopped drinking with people in school. Ikakuwa watu wa outside of school. And Nairobi, utakosa. You'll not miss a place to go. So I found myself in slums. Huko ndio mabeshte wanaishi, huko ndio liquor is cheap. And me, I would go spend the night in a slum. You wake up, you're wondering, niko wapi? Nilifika aje hapa? That was now the road.
And you're still in school?
Yes, I'm still in Dexter.
But unatoka Dexter, unaenda slums, unakunywa, unaspend huko. Just because, uko sasa ni new friends.
Yes, make new friends.
Hawa ni wanafunzi ama ni?
No, not wanafunzi. Hao ni watu
wa huko ghetto.
Kabisa. In fact, one was a conductor wa mat. And that, for me, it was just, wherever nitaonekana, it's okay. So, that would mean, wale wenye tuko nao shule wameacha kukushangilia. So it's a new group. We'd go, at this point, to the slums, it's whoever. Mkienda pali mkutane, mtaenda home. After that, because my classes would end on Wednesday. So Thursday, Friday, Saturday, Sunday, me, I was somewhere in the middle of nowhere, just doing whatever I felt was right and whatever I wanted. So as that continued is when I started, meeting other people. You go to Westlands, unapromotiwa at least from the slums. Sasa mmeingia mko Westlands kwa masonko, or so to speak. Now there you have to dress a certain way, speak a certain way, carry yourself in a certain way. And I adjusted to that peer. That's when the piercings became such a real thing for me. Nitaendelea, from your tongue to your eyebrow to, you continue. And I was willing. I was very glad to do it.
Wow. So, life imekugonga, umeenda mpaka kwa slums, dealing. So, nataka kabla tujafika kwa how you return maisha yako. I want to know, so unataka kusema kuna that issue ya mzazi kuto appreciate mtoto. That was the only thing that affected you.
For me, yes, it felt like I'm being rejected. Like I have not been received well. See, I'm not loved the way I want to be loved. That's what I told myself. And if you hear a lie, utaiamini na uende nayo kabisa.
Yeah.
So me, I ran with it. I'm not loved. I'm not appreciated at home. I'm not accepted. They don't see my value. Let me go where I can find my value. And it's out there.
Okay. Now, ukakunywa bado uko shule. Lakini the good thing yenye ninapenda na wewe, it's like, hata darasa, ulitaka ukue the best.
Yes, yes.
Hata in the class, you wanted to be the best.
Yes.
So, na ulikuwa kuna manage?
Yes. I think also my father is very strict. And I feared him. I was afraid that if I disappointed him kwa story ya academics, he, and my parents, knowing the sacrifice they have made for me to go to Daystar University, I was like, I have to put in my hard work. And I did, by the way. I graduated very well. And for me, part ya masomo, I did psychology. That was not hard for me. It felt like a second nature for me. So that was no struggle kwangu to balance the two. So Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, maybe 1 or 2, 3 drinks. Thursday, Friday, Saturday, Sunday, ndio pakabisa.
Now, somebody is saying hapa, Jose show iko poa sana, lakini mtu anasema analalamika Kiingereza mingi. So but it's okay. The reason, unajua, you must rate the way inafaa kukua. Kuna mwingine hapa anasema ati Sara kwanza yamestuka. Sara, where there's God in heaven. I never knew all this about you, despite being in campus together. I only remember you lived out of campus and lived in campus entirely. I think that's why I never knew all that about you. I'm perplexed indeed. God changes people. Hajasema ni nani, but I think huyo ni mtu mlikuwa na yeye campus siku moja, because of course umetuambia vile uliingia huko ndani. Maybe you tuambie vile ulijinasua ama vile turn back ilikuja.
So while I'm searching for this love,
yes,
I can't find it. It feels fake. It only lasts a night and that's it. The men in the relationships I was in didn't ever say I love you for who you are, you know, you're beautiful. It was nothing like that. So for me, I realized I've created a personality. Like this person that they know is not the real me. So one day, Nkiwa out and I'm dancing, and the person I was dancing with switched with someone else. And when I turned to look, this person doesn't even know my name. Tukiwa shule hajainiongelesha. He doesn't even look my way. And I was like, Sarah, he doesn't know you, but he will dance with you? Basically, you're selling yourself that short. That was the night. I went back to my room and I told God, never. If only you will toa IQ ya pombe, just that, and I'll be out. And sure to it, from that day mpaka leo, sijakunywa. It ended that night, evil. The desire to go out ended. And at that time, Desta had a wonderful chaplain, and I felt like I can go and share with him what was happening. So I told him, Rev, please niokoe. Just pray over me that I may rededicate my life to Christ. I'm in a mess. I don't know where I'm headed. I'm lost. And he made me kneel in his office and he prayed for me. And after that, I started being deliberate about going to church. And I went with a friend of mine to a church where they were so serious about praying. So I prayed like there was no tomorrow. Yani ile mpaka unajiachilia tu. And I thank God because somewhere there, he started working on my heart towards the bitterness that I had nurtured. Because it's not that my parents didn't love me, Joseph. No, they loved me. I just wanted to be celebrated. And you see, it sounds good. It sounds like it's a good thing. But it was my flesh. Nasifiwa, nashinda nikisifiwa kwa nini? Am I the one who lives or Christ who lives ndani yangu? So for me, it was all about me. I wanted the world to revolve around me. Not my brothers, not my parents, but I want me. So you see, that had to be broken down. So slowly I started realizing I was wrong. So then around that time, I got married, and I really became obsessed, I would say, with my husband. Sasa baba na mama nipe ile love, lakini umse atanipea. He got a job that takes him away. I got depressed again. So I was like, God, suli tutoa pale. What is this bitterness coming up again? And God told me, you've not dealt with it. You've not been delivered from it. So praise the Lord, he brought some people, your sister Jenny and all, a group of women who, we are 11 of us, and they would pray. They prayed for me to be delivered. Because I would share.
Let me ask you, before hii story, because when ukianza kutaja Jane, I think it's because niliwapata Juzi na Jane. Mi naona kama mlijuana juzi.
Miaka 4.
4 years ago.
Yes.
By then haukuwa ulipata bwana.
Yes.
Na bwana bado ulikuwa unapata for the sake of attention.
Yes, vizuri.
Bwana ulikuwa unataka wa attention.
Mimi nilikuwa nataka
atakupenda.
Tukaa hivi forever. Tukue tukiangaliana, uniambie vile mimi ni mnoma. Oh, without you my life is nothing. That's why I got married.
So now this is funny and interesting So wewe bwana ulikuwa unamtafuta bado, hata kama uliwacha pombe still kuna kitu ingine bado hujaacha pombe na hujakubali ati wazazi yani bado unaona haupendwi, haitoshi.
Yes, very much so.
Okay.
So bwana naye akaanza kwenda job. Bwana akona marafiki, he has to go. Jack has to have a life. Then I said, mimba, I'll have a baby. This baby will be mine forever. Mimi nae hapa kwa hapa. Atanipenda vile nataka kupendwa. The baby comes, the baby is sick. The baby almost dies. And I'm angry at God now. Ile bitterness ya baba, mama, bwana, nimemwagia sasa God. How you fail me na wazazi? Ungewafundisha wani love? You who is all powerful, who performs miracles, you couldn't teach my brothers to accept me. Then you made me get married to a man who can't love me. Now you want to take this baby who was supposed to love me. You have failed me. And I would be so bitter. My prayers were horrible. I was so angry. Now it's nimefika point where I'm saying, heri nikufe. I remember,
nawe si mgonjwa.
I'm not sick. I remember there was a time I would, where we were living, kulikuwa na pali malori zinapita. So I tell myself, just go to that highway with that baby, umemfunga vizuri. Lori kikaribia, jirushe hapo kwa road. Muishe. Maybe watakupenda kwa kifo. Lies. Very big lies. So this is then 2 years after I've had my baby. Do I love being a mother? No. It feels like a burden. Why? This baby is demanding of so much. And me, I feel like staki sahi. Mi nataka kujipata. Now, slowly I started seeing myself creeping back to my old ways. And you know that's when you start finding friends who tell you, twende out. You feel like, unakaka uko na pressure. You go out, you can't drink. You know that mtego. You feel, I can't dance. So that's when, shortly after that is when we started meeting with the prayer group. Yes.
Somebody is saying hapa, kabla ujaendelea, this is Salome Muiruri. I don't know whether you know Salome Muiruri. This is Salome Muiruri. Anasema, wow, I just tuned in. So good to see my dear friend Sarah Bomet. Msalimie sana. Tumetoka mbali pamoja, right from going to church together, schooling together at Daystar University. I'm here listening to the testimony. Thanks, Jose. Mtu mwingine anasema anaitwa Rukenya Nimrods. Very impressive. Say hi to Miss Jack. Anasema Mkaranja from Njoro. Tuko tuned sana. And encourage. Mwingine anaitwa Penina Wairimo. Encouraging, touching. So umetoka kwa sasa uko na bwana bado?
Yes.
Bado tena kuna watu wanataka kupeleka out?
Yes.
Bwana ako job mbali.
Yes.
Sasa umepata watu wa out.
Yes.
Lakini uko unaona pombe utaki.
Yes.
Unajua ulikunywa sana. Now yes. Umeingia kwa kwa hii team. Imagine you have children, saizi uko na mtoto mmoja.
Yes.
Kamepona.
Lakini mimi najiambia staki mwingine. And Joseph, let's be honest, you know, when your husband is ameenda mbali, you feel like he's not loving you, you're going out hapa na pale, kuna watu watakuja kuambia kuja nikupende. They seem like they can love you again. The episodes of going out tena zikaanza kurudi. Mtu anakuambia you don't need to be married. You see yourself packing your clothes, you're leaving. Vizuri kabisa, unaona mimi naenda. Si anipendi. Why would I stay if hanipendi? Hanionyesha ananipenda. Na mimi kuonyeshwa kupendwa si ile ya Hollywood. Uni celebrate, you know, throw a lavish party for me for my birthday. But I thank God for these women who woke me up from that slumber. That it's a lie from the devil. Love cannot come from a human being. You know, one thing that I've come to learn is that God's love for me is not dependent on what I do. You see, I'd become a performer that I may receive love. God hataki performance yangu, ananipenda tu. Hivyo tu. And his love is unconditional, and he left the 99, came for the one. I am the one. So why? Mbona nishinde nikimhepa? Why do I have to go seeking for this love kwingine? And not that my husband did not love me. That man loves me. He really did his best. But kwangu, I was so blind to it. Sikuwa naiona. Nilikuwa nataka upendo specific. So God aka work through these women, and I'm sure you know your sister si wa kubembeleza.
Yeah.
Kuna wakati angeniambia acha upuzi. That is nonsense. What are you saying? Unapak unaenda wapi? And you know, people like me need that. You know, kubembelezwa tumebembelezwa sana. So I started a journey of saying, God, sawa niko hapa. Nipende vile unataka kunipenda. Mimi nataka kupokea upendo wako kama baba yangu. I started there. And then I want you to love me as God. Nionyeshe unanipenda mpaka ionekane nje. That time tukipatana nilikuwa nimenyoa nywele kabisa, clean. And he told me, your hair is your glory. I'll show you. Stop easy theatrics, Sarah. Piercings niza. Wachana na hizo. So he slowly has molded me to where I am today. That whether Jack does what I think he should do or not, I don't get paralyzed. I don't get depressed. The suicide thoughts ended. The performance ended. Me, I used to be afraid. Just say tungekuwa marafiki unikasirikie, I would do anything. And I mean anything to get you to stop being angry. Sasa ukinikasirikia kaa tuwezi ongea, nitakuacha tu. Tutakuja tuongee kesho. I'm free from the performance, for sure. And I thank God. I thank God that I look at my parents without bitterness. In fact, I'm so grateful that they didn't give up on me. Hizo masiku, I feel like I was always complaining, whining to, amunipendi, nganga, you know, throughout. But they did not give up on me. My parents love me, and I love them. And our relationship, in fact, I count my mother as one of my best friends. We have such a deep connection. Zaidi ya kukua mama na mtoto, we have our love for God. So for me, anyone who says kwetu si kupendeka, anyone who holds on to them, and when you're bitter, you can count the many things that have happened. But I can tell you, you are loved by a God who doesn't wait for you to perform. It's not based on you. It's based on him.
Wow. Ebu nikusomea message hapa. May God continue blessing you, Sarah.
Amen.
You are a God sent to my family. We really appreciate you. Our baby is a testimony that there is God in heaven. From Mama and Baba Nilsa. You know them?
Yes, thank you.
Caleb from Kipsongon. Show iko juu. God bless Sarah. Inspired this generation. Now, Sarah, tuko na few minutes. Nataka uhubiri kidogo.
Yes.
Mtu mwingine ni nani bado kale bana. No. Where I'm watching naitwa Anna Njoroge. Now, I want you to preach for a few minutes.
Yes.
Preach to somebody.
Yes.
Because I know out there, Sarah si uongo. Out there, kuna watu wengi. In fact, wewe uko kwa kategori yako. Kategori fulani yenye hatutajagi. That's a very unique reason ya kwenda kukunywa. Hiyo mimi sikuwa najua. And nani unique in a way mtu hawezi jua. Because you see, I was telling people, watu huenda kukunywa with reasons. Mimi nikienda kukunywa Sara, akina Siza, akina nani wangeaniuliza, nobody knew. Hakuna mtu alikuwa anajua kwa nini naenda kukunywa. But mimi nilikuwa naenda kukunywa because chang'aa kwangu it was medicine. Nilikuwa kuna shida hapa, nilikuwa na problem hapa kwa throat, I had tuberculosis, but sikuwa najua niko na TB. Are we together?
Yes.
So kila asubuhi ndio nisisikie vibaya, I had to drink a glass ama kikombe of chang'aa. Na nikikunywa kikombe of chang'aa sitaki ishe. So nitashinda the whole day, nikipata ka 10 bob naenda na top up, nikipata 20 na top up, and it became the business ya kila siku. Ati lazima niamuke. Jane used to come na umo na jino, they give me money ya kwenda kungolewa, but instead ya kungoa nikunywe chang'aa nisikie fiti na uchungu ishe. Now hawakujua the reason.
Yes.
Nobody knew. Wewe ukifanya vituko huko kwa kanyanga speaker, nobody knew. Walidhani ni happy. Kumbe wewe kuna kitu unahiri.
Yes.
So watu huwa hawajui kati mlevi, and I think I'm sure you understand walevi.
Yes.
Like I do.
Yes.
I understand them. Misuwa siwapigi, siwatukani, siwaongei vibaya wao. Because I know somebody is sick. Because you are also sick.
Yes.
Somebody is sick.
Yes.
Na anahitaji attention. And hiyo siku mwenye alikuingilia badala yaone, you know, me whenever I see a drunkard person, I know God hapendi vitu mbaya.
Yes.
Nani shetani hapendi vitu mbaya. Yeye uchukua the best. I want to give you 3 minutes.
Yes.
You preach to these people.
Yes.
Something.
Yes.
Kwa najua saizi wewe umefidiwa. Kama hiyo ndio timu yako, yes. I know unachemuka maneno mazuri.
Yes.
Yes.
First I want to say to everyone who feels like sionekani, sipendwi, and that you are loved, you are seen by a God who knows you, the deepest parts of you. In fact, Romans 4 verse 7 to 8, you can read later, says, blessed, happy, and loved is a man whose sins are no longer counted against him. That is exactly who you are. You don't need to find your identity from anyone. No, it doesn't matter whether your parents are alive or dead. You are loved and you are treasured by God. In fact, you are loved to the point where he was willing to die for you. Me, I've not met anyone who's willing to die. But God died for us and he loves us. So as you go through those feelings of invisibility, in fact, I used to say, I feel like I'm invisible. I'm in a room full of people screaming and no one can hear me. God hears you. He hears the cry of your heart. He knows those tears that you cry to yourself at night. And you are loved and treasured. All you have to do, all that it takes, is for you to just surrender yourself to this Christ. Give yourself over with those wounds, with the bitterness. In fact, he doesn't need you to make up yourself. You don't need to prepare yourself into queer right before this God. Kuja vile ulivyo and let God love you. Kubali upendo wake. It's freely given. Your part is to receive it. And once you receive it, I can assure you, you are free. The Bible says, he who the Son sets free is free indeed. Nothing will hinder you. Be it your relationships, be it your background, be it what you've done in your past. None of that will hold you. It is not written on your face. It is not upon you. But the glory of God, when he releases his love on you, his glory will shine on you and every part of your life.
Wow.
Yeah.
Wow, that is so powerful. And kabla sijakuambia asanti. Salimia watu na uanze na Jack.
Yes.
Salimia few na uanze na Jack if he's watching.
Yes, Jack, I know he is watching. Namsalimia sana my husband. Very hardworking, uko pale kazini. Chapa kazi, nakupenda, nashukuru. My mom, I know she's watching, and my sister-in-law Mariach, my brother Caleb, my daughter Wendo, nawapenda, asanteni. Kina mama Nilsa, and all of you. Penina, my mother, I love you so much, asanteni. Thank you. You are the reason why I'm here, all of you. And I thank
Just
God.
about Jane.
Jenny, can I miss Jenny? What do I say? Ni wewe ndo kanifanya nikajua you're wonderful. Twin brother. Nitasema hivyo.
Twin brother.
Be very blessed. I honor you and I love you.
Yes.
And thank you. In fact, I should also say the father of the house, Apostle Jesse and Ma Margaret. Yes, atujuani personal, but Jenny introduced me to them. And wow, are they a blessing? Their love overpours to so many of us. So asanteni. Thank you even for the platform.
Yes.
Thank you, Joseph.
So thank you so much for finding time na
Yes.
kukuja hapa kushare with us
Yes.
your story.
Yes.
Si watu wengi, you know, it's only that we did not mention. But and nanafulia Jack Kofia sana. Because when you're sharing this story, there are some things zenye hauja mention. But of course in our mind we know.
Yes.
We know a lot enye imekuja kwa mind yetu. But I think I thank God so much because the God mwenye ulienda kupenda amecover the way he covers
The
things.
shame.
Hawezi, you know,
Hawezi.
you telling us nobody can tell. Maybe I think mimi ningesema maybe ulipatana na Jack kuwa virgin. Umenipata? That is what me ningefikiria. Na hiyo ndio Mungu amekucover nayo. Umenipata? Na nimetolea huyo jamaa kofia mara 60 kama anajua history yote.
Vizuri.
You know,
Yes.
kuna point ulikuwa takataka.
Kabisa.
I know how men huita are those kind of wanawake.
Yes.
I know venye ulikuwa unaitwa. Sasa ukiwa shule ndio nimepiti kwanza. Mara ya kwanza I pitted you because that is what mi najua nishakuwa victim ya kuita. Ile malaya ya kawaida. Ile si ukitaka kumuita, it was not because they loved you so much. It is because ulikuwa umefika point ya kutumiwa sana. Umeshapata? Ati ukitaka nani? It was not just dancing.
Nope.
I know that. But I thank God ati amekurudishia hiyo glory yote hata hakuna mtu anaamini.
Yes.
That is why wanaandika message at the what?
Glory to God.
Will believe hivi. Na mimi naweza encourage hivi Sara ndio tumalize.
Yes.
I would encourage you. Endelea kupeana hiyo story. Haikuwekwa tu. If with the glory yenye Mungu amekupea, hiyo story haikuwekwa tu. Even in fact anza kuchange and utafute tu words zenye zinafuatana na story yako and start preaching using that. You know we are preachers.
Yeah.
Hata bila nini sasa umeingia kategori yangu ya kupreach. Me I will not invite you again here ati nini. I'll invite you to kuongelesha. You see when you see those children, ona mtoto wako.
Kabisa.
Si mbaya huyo mtoto amekuwa exposed to bad things because wanakuwa exposed to very bad things na sio kupenda kwao. Before niende wacha ni sample these two messages. Maria tuko ndani. Sarah mom, we loved you too. Wow, love the show. You are loved. You are beautiful. TV kwanza imekutoa poa sana. Wacha CV na MC Josie. Naitwa Wajakoya Jackson. Sawa, Jackson Wajakoya. You know, kuna siku alinipata tu ninamuita Wajakoya. Nimeongea kuhusu Wajakoya and then Jack anaingia. So Jackie Wajakoya, we salute you. So thank you so much for finding time kutembea hapa na kushare your story, your personal story. Si wengi ushare. Na mimi na encourage watu, if Sarah ameshare na mnaona vile ni msupu, kama ameshare na uko na story, tuambie uko na story. Kuja hiyo story ulipewa na Mungu, kuje upe watu.
Yes.
Wacha kukaa na stories zingine nyumbani, zitakusaidia. Sarah ukikaa na hiyo story homa ikusaidia. Haitawasaidia mkuu na Jack, but saizi imesaidia watu wengi.
Amen.
So thank you so much.
Thank you.
Na mtazamaji, kufikia hapo sina la mitume wala la nabii ila tu kukoma. Nasema ni asanti sana kwa kukitazama kipindi cha Juzi ya Kuogofia, na kama umeguzwa na ungetaka hata Sara azidi kukuencourage because she is also a counselor. Amefika mahali she is a counselor, whether alisomea ama kusomea, she is a counselor. Kindly, if you don't mind, can you share your number?
Yes.
So do you share your number?
My number is 0722-124-727. I can repeat. 0722-124-727.
Sarah is married. It's good. That's
Happily married.
happily married.
Yes.
So hiyo number wacha tupige ya kuuliza maswali. Na ndio nimalize, people are still sending their message. Praise the Lord. I'm Walter Kinjo from Kericho County, Gikere. I'm blessed and enjoying the show. So kufikia hapo, asanti sana mtazamaji kwa kutazama kipindi cha Juzi ya Kuogofia. na hatuna la ziada ila tu tukome nikikuambia kwamba tukutane siku ya Wednesday for the same program. Lakini pia nitakukumbusha kwamba kipindi cha Juzi ya Kuogofia hiki ambacho umetazama sasa hivi, marudio ya hii kipindi itakuwa ni siku ya kesho Alhamisi saa 3 hadi saa 4 usiku. So if you did not watch, if you want to repeat it again, watch it tomorrow kuanzia saa 3 ya usiku hadi saa 4. So thank you so much. See you later.